I swear, life felt perfect that morning. The sun streamed through my apartment window, and I could hear Riya humming in the kitchen. "Coffee's ready," she called. "Coming," I shouted, tying my tie. Her laughter always made me forget deadlines, traffic, and everything else. "You've got a big day today," she said, placing a mug in my hand. "Don't let Mr. Kapoor stress you out." "I won't." "But thanks for believing in me," I replied, brushing a kiss across her cheek. She smiled, that quiet, knowing smile, and I thought I could live 1,000 years like this. At the office, Alina waved from across the room. "Morning. You look sharp." "Thanks, Alina." "You too," I said, sliding into my chair. She leaned over my desk, her hair brushing my shoulder. "Did you finish the Henderson proposal?" "I stayed late to tweak the numbers." I grinned. "You did? I owe you big." "You know I like seeing you succeed," she said, tapping my shoulder lightly. I laughed, feeling the warmth of trust and friendship. "All right," Mr. Kapoor's voice cut through the chatter. "Team, let's gather in the conference room." As we walked, Alina whispered, "I heard Henderson's picky. You've got this." I nodded, grateful for her support. "I hope so. Can't mess this up." The meeting was a blur of charts and client demands. Alina sat beside me, jotting notes furiously. "Hey, watch that number, it looks off," she murmured. Her eyes met mine, sharp and alert. I appreciated the attention, I trusted her completely. After work, Riya picked me up. "How was the meeting?" she asked, sliding her hand into mine. "Better because you're here," I said, leaning against her shoulder. "Alina saved me a lot of stress. I swear, I don't know what I'd do without her." Riya frowned faintly, playful but curious. "You spend too much time at work, you know that?" I know. But it feels good, like I'm making something of myself." Dinner was quiet, comfortable. We laughed over small things, argued over nothing. "You're burning the pasta," Riya said, rolling her eyes. "I'm multitasking." I protested, and she smacked my arm. I laughed until my stomach hurt, feeling the kind of joy that makes the world soft around the edges. Later, we curled up on the couch. "Promise me we'll always have this," I whispered. Riya kissed my forehead. "Always. No matter what." And I believed her. I truly did. But then Alina texted me, "Need to talk tomorrow. Important." I smiled, expecting work chatter. But there was something in the way she typed, an urgency I didn't understand. I shrugged it off. The next morning, she leaned close, almost too close. "I'm worried about the Henderson deal. We need to double-check everything." "Thanks for looking out," I said, genuinely grateful. She nodded, eyes glinting in a way I didn't question yet. I walked away, humming. Life was simple, predictable, safe. I didn't notice the tiny cracks in the mirror, the shadows under smiles, or the way Alina's hand lingered just a second too long on the papers. Everything was perfect. I thought it always would be. I didn't see it coming. Not really. I walked into the office that morning thinking it was just another day. Samir was at his desk, frowning at his screen. "Morning," I said, trying to sound casual. "Morning," he muttered, eyes flicking to me. "You're okay?" "Yeah, why?" I asked, but a pit formed in my stomach. "Just heard something. You might want to check the Henderson report before the meeting." "What do you mean?" I demanded, my heart skipping. "Better look now," he said softly. I stormed over to my desk and pulled up the report. Numbers were all wrong in a way I couldn't have possibly made. My hands shook. No, this can't be happening." Alina appeared beside me, casually, smiling. "Morning. Everything all right?" I glared at her. Do you know anything about this? Her smile didn't falter. This? I just glanced at it. Looks fine to me. Fine. I snapped. Look at these figures. Oh, these? Don't worry. Maybe it's a system glitch, she said, voice light. I wanted to believe her. But the look in her eyes, there was nothing there. Nothing but calm. Mr. Kapoor called me into the meeting. Sit, he said sharply. Care to explain these errors? I don't understand, I stammered. I double-checked everything. I swear. Alina leaned in, whispering just enough for Mr. Kapoor to hear. I thought maybe he missed a detail. Could happen to anyone. I froze. My own ally, my friend, was twisting the knife. Any comments? Mr. Kapoor asked, frowning. I swallowed. I'll fix it. I'll redo the numbers immediately. He sighed, disappointment heavy in his eyes. See that it's done. This shouldn't have happened. After the meeting, I went back to my desk. Samir was there, watching. I knew it wasn't you, he said quietly. Thanks, I muttered, still shaking. But it doesn't matter. He's already decided I messed up. Later, in the cafeteria, I overheard Alina talking to Tanya, Riya's friend. He'll never know what hit him. Poor guy, always so focused on work. It's cute. My stomach sank. What the hell is she saying? I muttered to myself. Tanya laughed. He doesn't even see it coming. It clicked. She wasn't just sabotaging me at work, she was trying to get close to Riya too. My chest tightened. I couldn't breathe. Alina, I confronted her later in the empty office hallway. You've been lying to me. To everyone. Why? She tilted her head. Why what? I don't follow. Don't play dumb. I shouted. The Henderson report. You messed it up on purpose, didn't you? I don't know what you mean, she said, voice calm, too calm. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Doesn't matter, right? You still got blamed. I felt fury rise, but also disbelief. I trusted you. And you still do, she said softly, almost a whisper, and walked away. I sank into my chair, staring at the screen. Samir placed a hand on my shoulder. I know it's hard. But you'll get through this. I don't think I can, I muttered. I feel like my whole life's crumbling. That evening, Riya called me. We need to talk, she said, voice tight. About what? I asked, panic creeping in. I don't know if I can trust everything you say anymore, she said. My stomach dropped. I saw the report. The meeting. Did you know about the mistakes? No. Riya, I swear, I didn't touch the errors, I said desperately. Alina, she did this. She sabotaged me. I don't know. I want to believe you, but how could she do this? And you didn't see it? I couldn't find the words. I trusted her. I trusted both of you. I don't know what to do. There was silence on the other end, and I felt it pierce my chest. Doubt. Even from Riya, the person I thought would always believe me. I need some time, she whispered finally. I can't tonight. And just like that, the world I thought I knew shattered. I sat on the edge of the bed, my hands trembling. Betrayed, humiliated, and utterly alone. Alina's text from earlier that morning flashed in my mind, need to talk tomorrow. Important. I realized now that it had never been innocent. I didn't sleep that night. My mind kept replaying the meeting, Alina's smile, and Riya's voice dripping doubt. I poured coffee into a mug and muttered to myself, how could they both? The next morning, I saw Riya waiting outside my apartment. "We need to talk," she said, arms crossed. I sighed. "I thought we already did." "This isn't just about the report," she said, stepping closer. "I don't know if I can trust you, or your judgment. How could you miss something so obvious?" "I didn't miss it," I snapped. "Alina tampered with it. I swear." Riya shook her head. "I don't know what to believe anymore. I feel like I'm losing you." "I'm right here," I yelled, my voice cracking. "Why are you turning against me? I need you to trust me." She looked away, tears glimmering. I need time." I sank onto the steps, heart hammering. The person I loved most was doubting me. Alone, I felt every betrayal hit like a stone. At work, Alina appeared, breezy as ever. "Hey, you okay?" she asked, leaning against my desk. "Don't, hey, you okay, me?" I snapped. "You ruined my career today. You lied to everyone." Alina tilted her head. "I didn't lie. Maybe people just misunderstood." "Don't take it personally." "Misunderstood?" I seethed. "I trusted you. You betrayed me." "Oh, calm down," she said lightly. "It's just work. Don't overreact." I wanted to grab her, shake her, make her understand, but I couldn't. I felt powerless. Later, I met Mr. Singh in his office. "You look like hell," he said, eyes narrowing. "Thanks for noticing," I muttered. "You're better than this," he said firmly. "Don't let them break you. Alina's clever, but she's sloppy. You can fix this." "I don't know if I can," I admitted. "Riya doesn't believe me, and Alina, she's everywhere. I feel trapped." "You're not trapped," he said. "You're angry. Good. Use it. Channel it. Don't let betrayal define you." "I want to," I whispered, but doubt gnawed at me. I trusted everyone." "Exactly. And that trust can become your strength," he said. "Don't waste it on pity." At lunch, Tanya walked past and stopped. "Riya's upset. She says she's not sure about you anymore." "I know," I muttered. "Thanks for rubbing it in." "I'm just telling you what's out there," she said, shrugging. "You really messed up this time." "Mess up?" I repeated, voice tight. "Alina did this." "Oh, sure," she said, smirking. "Maybe. Maybe not. But perception is reality, isn't it?" I wanted to scream. Instead, I clenched my fists under the table. Every word felt like another cut. Back at my desk, I stared at the Henderson report, trembling. How could someone I called a friend betray me like this? How could Riya doubt me so quickly? Samir came over quietly. "Don't listen to them," he said. "I know it's hard, but I believe in you. Just stay focused." "I feel so weak," I admitted. I thought I could handle anything. But now you can," he said, firm. "You've just got to decide to fight." I looked at the ceiling, letting the silence stretch. My mind raced. I could continue drowning in despair, or I could rise. I could no longer be a victim. I sent a brief text to Riya, "I understand you're hurt. I just want a chance to show you the truth." No reply. Not yet. And that hurt more than anything. By the afternoon, my anger had solidified into something sharper, determined, cold, and deliberate. I started making lists, jotting ideas, small steps I could take. Not out of revenge yet, but for survival. Alina passed my desk again, smiling. I didn't look at her. "I'm done being your puppet," I muttered to myself. Mr. Singh popped his head in. "Feeling better?" "More focused," I said. "I've made a choice. No more feeling sorry for myself. No more waiting for the world to fix this for me. Good, he said. That's the spirit I wanted to see. As I closed my laptop, I felt the first spark of control since the betrayal. I didn't know how far it would take me, but I knew one thing: would not let this define me. I would rise. And next time, they would see me standing tall, unshaken. I sat across from Mr. Singh in his office, tapping my pen against the desk. I don't know where to start, I admitted. You start where it hurts, he said, eyes sharp. Find the weak points, the patterns. Alina's sloppy, but she's clever enough to hide it. You need proof. I frowned. Proof, but if I confront her too soon, she'll cover her tracks. Exactly. So don't confront her yet, he said. Watch, listen, record. Use her own arrogance against her. I can do that, I said, voice low, tense. I need to take everything back. Samir appeared, holding 2 cups of coffee. And maybe more, he said, sliding one across to me. I've got your back. I smiled faintly. Thanks. I don't want to fail again. I can't afford it. You won't, he said. But you need a plan. I leaned back, thinking. First, I rebuild my credibility. Henderson's numbers need correcting. Second, I track Alina, emails, meetings, anything suspicious. Third, I decide, public exposure or letting karma do its work. Mr. Singh nodded. Good start. But remember, patience is key. You can't rush this. I watched Alina walk past the office later, humming softly to herself. Her confidence made me sick. I muttered under my breath, I'll show you. At lunch, Tanya joined me. Heard you're back on Henderson, she said casually. Good luck, though, tricky project. Thanks, I said cautiously, studying her. You really think it's tricky, or are you just repeating what Alina said? Tanya shrugged. Just what I hear. You know how rumors spread. I wanted to shake her. Instead, I nodded. Right. Rumors. Back at my desk, Samir whispered, Alina's leaving early today. Just FYI. Good, I said. Time to dig through the reports she handled. I opened her files, scanning for inconsistencies. Every spreadsheet, every email, I compared with my own work. Mistakes she overlooked, shortcuts she took, small, but enough to build a case. During the afternoon, Mr. Kapoor passed by. I'm watching you, he said, voice clipped. Don't disappoint me again. I won't, I said firmly. I'll fix everything. As I watched Alina later in the hallway, I noticed her interacting with coworkers, charming them, laughing a little too much. One of them, Ramesh, asked about Henderson. She gave vague answers, hiding her tracks. I smiled, silently noting every detail. Planning something? Samir asked, peering over my shoulder. Just, observation, I said. I need to see where she slips. I recalled happier times with Riya, her smile, the way she'd support me without question. Those memories fueled me. I couldn't let Alina take her too, emotionally or professionally. By mid-afternoon, I had a small folder of evidence, misfiled emails, ignored corrections, and even a conversation where Alina subtly tried to shift blame onto me. My pulse quickened. What now? Samir asked. Now, I said slowly, I watch. I wait. But I also rebuild. Henderson will be perfect. I can't give them another reason to doubt me. I paused, thinking of the moral dilemma. Publicly exposing her could ruin her, but letting karma work might be more satisfying. I shook my head. No. I need control. I can't leave this to chance. Alina walked past again, smiling at someone I barely knew. She glanced at me. Our eyes met for a moment, and I felt a spark of hatred, maybe. Soon, I whispered. Soon, everything will be clear. Mr. Singh's words echoed in my mind, use your anger, channel it. I started drafting emails, making notes, planning subtle ways to restore my credibility while keeping my watchful eye on her. Every step calculated. Every interaction a test. I thought about Riya again. I'll fix this. Not just for me, but for us, I muttered to myself. The pain of betrayal was still fresh, but determination was stronger now. The workday ended, but I stayed late, poring over files. Samir left, shaking his head. You're obsessed, he said, but there was admiration in his voice. I'm focused, I said. There's no other choice. Before leaving, I sent a short text to Riya, I'm making things right. Just wait. Please. No reply. Expected. But it didn't shake me. Not anymore. As I packed up, I noticed Alina's desk, pristine and empty. She'd left nothing behind. Smiling to myself, I whispered, tomorrow, I start stepping back into my world. My life. My career. My everything. And for the first time in days, I felt ready. I arrived at the office earlier than usual, coffee in hand, determined. Samir was already at his desk. Back early, he said, smirking. Can't let Alina get the jump on me, I replied, setting down my bag. He raised an eyebrow. Fair enough. But you look different. Focused. I am, I said. No more distractions. Henderson's report will be perfect this time. Alina appeared shortly after, smiling as if nothing happened. Morning, she chirped. Morning, I said tightly. I didn't need her charm right now. She glanced at my desk. Busy already? Yes, I replied, voice neutral. Trying to fix what's broken. Her smile faltered slightly, but she recovered quickly. Good luck with that. I ignored her, turning to Samir. Can you review these numbers? I want them flawless before the meeting. Already done, he said, sliding the spreadsheet over. You've got this. Later, I bumped into Dev near the coffee machine. Hey, he said, smiling warmly. It's been a while. Too long, I said, pouring my coffee. I didn't expect to see you here. I heard about everything, he said gently. If you need someone to talk to, I'm here. Thanks, I muttered, feeling a twinge of relief. It's been rough. I can imagine, he said, studying me. But you're handling it. Better than I expected. I laughed softly. I'm trying. I can't stay broken forever. Good, he said. Riya, she's going to come around eventually, you know. She just needs to see the real you again. I frowned. I don't know if it's that simple. Too much has already happened. Maybe, he admitted. But focus on yourself first. Everything else will follow. Back at my desk, I noticed a photograph tucked behind my monitor, Riya and me at the company picnic, smiling like nothing could touch us. I picked it up, staring at it. I can't lose that, I whispered. Not everything. Samir leaned over. You're thinking too much. Maybe, I said, putting the photo back. But I need motivation. Throughout the morning, I focused on work, recalculating, double-checking, leaving nothing to chance. Alina hovered nearby, glancing at my screen, offering unsolicited advice. I think you should adjust these numbers, she said casually, pointing at a column. I've checked them, I said evenly. They're correct. Oh, right, she murmured, stepping back, but I noticed the flicker in her eyes. She didn't expect me to be this meticulous. By lunch, I had reconstructed the Henderson report flawlessly. I emailed it to Mr. Kapoor with a short note, updated numbers. Please review. He replied within minutes, excellent work. Keep it up. I felt a spark of triumph. Samir high-fived me quietly. See? You're back. Yeah, I said, swallowing hard. Back and stronger. Dev appeared again in the afternoon. You're different, he observed. Calmer. Focused. Not letting anyone push you around. I have to be, I admitted. Alina, she's smart, but I've learned to watch her. Every smile, every word. Careful, he warned. Don't let her see you're tracking her. I won't, I said. I'm learning patience. As the day ended, I revisited my old office desk, the one I'd abandoned in despair. I ran my fingers over the surface, remembering late nights with Riya and victories I'd celebrated there. This is mine again, I whispered. And I won't let it go. Alina walked past, pretending to be busy. I caught her glance. She smiled, confident, but I saw the crack, a hesitation in her step, a nervous glance at her emails. She thinks she's untouchable. Soon, she'll learn otherwise. I opened my laptop and started drafting subtle ways to expose her mistakes without drawing attention to myself. Emails, project reviews, small nudges. Karma would help me, but I had to guide it. Samir leaned over. Careful, though. Don't get too aggressive. I know, I said. I'm building, not destroying. Slowly, quietly, deliberately. I glanced at Dev one last time before leaving. Thanks for being here, I said. Always, he replied. Anne. I'm glad to see you like this. You deserve it. Walking out of the office, I felt the weight of the past lifting slightly. Pain, heartbreak, and betrayal were still there, but beneath it, a calculated determination burned. I wasn't fragile anymore. I had been broken, but now I was resilient. I would rebuild everything Alina tried to take from me, and more. I noticed it first in the meeting. Alina fumbled a slide, stumbled over a figure, and her smile faltered. Sorry, she muttered, adjusting her notes. I stayed quiet, letting her anxiety build. Samir caught my eye and smirked. I whispered, keep watching. Later, in the break room, Tanya approached Alina. Did you fix the Henderson issue like you promised? I thought I did, Alina replied, voice sharp but nervous. Thought. Tanya raised an eyebrow. Your confidence usually doesn't waver. Alina's hand shook slightly as she clutched her coffee. I'm just busy, okay? I leaned against the counter nearby, pretending to check my phone. The tiny cracks in her composure made my chest tighten, not with triumph, but with the reminder that she wasn't untouchable. After work, I ran into Riya outside. Hi, she said, hesitant, hands in her pockets. Hi, I replied, calm, measured. Do you have a minute? She nodded, and we walked to a quiet park bench. You've changed, she said, finally meeting my eyes. I had to, I said. Being naive got me nowhere. I needed to rebuild, to be certain before I trusted anyone again. She frowned. Are you doing this for me or for yourself? For both, I admitted. But mostly for me. I can't let anyone, destroy what I've worked for, including the people I care about. She looked away, conflicted. I was wrong to doubt you. Maybe I didn't see clearly. Then see clearly now, I said, voice steady. I'm not asking for forgiveness yet. I'm asking you to see me as I am now. Her eyes softened for a moment, and I felt a flicker of hope. I want to, she whispered. Meanwhile, back at the office, Alina's mistakes multiplied. A client email she sent contained an attachment with incorrect numbers. I caught it before anyone noticed, forwarding the corrected version to Mr. Kapoor with a casual note, updated version for accuracy. Alina noticed the subtle maneuvering. "Did you?" she whispered to Samir, panic in her eyes. "I don't know," he said calmly. "Maybe." She stormed past me later. "How are you always ahead of me?" I smiled slightly. "Focus. Patience. You should try it sometime." Her jaw tightened. You're impossible. "You've underestimated me," I said softly. "That was your first mistake." By the afternoon, I discovered a hidden email thread she had forgotten to delete, plans to manipulate Mr. Kapoor further, to shift blame onto me again. My pulse raced. This was gold. I copied the thread discreetly, storing it safely. The thought of exposing her gnawed at me, but I stayed calm. "Patience," I muttered. "Let her make the next mistake." Alina started checking over her shoulder, every glance from me a threat. "Why is he always around when I'm," she muttered to herself. Samir whispered, "She's paranoid now." "Good," I said, voice low. "Paranoia makes people sloppy." I reflected on her motivation, the envy, the desire for validation, the fear of being overshadowed. I could almost understand it, but her choices had consequences. I wouldn't save her from herself. During a project briefing, she misquoted a client's numbers, and her face flushed. I think it's, Let me clarify," I said calmly, taking over. "The client's actual figures are here." I handed her the corrected slides. Her shoulders sagged. "Thanks," she muttered, avoiding eye contact. Later, in a quiet hallway, I cornered her. "Alina," I said softly, "your work ethic is impressive, but your dishonesty is your downfall. You can still fix this, if you start being honest." She glared. "Why are you giving me advice? You ruined me once, remember?" "I didn't ruin you," I said firmly. "You chose this. I'm just helping you see it." She stormed off, muttering under her breath. That evening, I texted Riya, "Meeting went well. Things are stabilizing. We'll talk soon." Minutes later, she replied, "I see that. I'm proud of you." I smiled, a flicker of warmth in my chest. That acknowledgement, small as it was, felt like victory. Back at home, I opened my laptop and reviewed Alina's email thread again. Hidden agendas, small lies, subtle manipulations, all exposed. Karma wasn't done, but I was guiding it. I whispered to myself, step by step. One mistake at a time, she'll unravel. And I'll be ready when the final moment comes. I glanced at the photograph of Riya and me on my desk. I drew strength from it. This wasn't just about work, it was about reclaiming my life, my trust, and my heart. Alina thought she could outsmart everyone. But she underestimated patience, precision, and determination. And now, her first real panic had begun. I closed my laptop, feeling a strange calm. The storm had started. I stood at the entrance of the conference room, heart hammering, but my mind was calm. Samir leaned close. "You ready?" "I've never been more ready," I said. Alina sat at the head of the table, smiling confidently. "I hear I'm finally being addressed." "Yes," I said, voice steady. "It's time we clear the air." She tilted her head. "Oh. This should be interesting." I pulled up the Henderson report on the screen. "Do you remember this?" I asked, clicking through the slides. "Errors you introduced. Emails you deleted. Attempts to shift blame." Her smile faltered. I don't know what you're talking about." "You do," I said firmly. "And everyone here will see it. Every manipulation, every lie. I trusted you, Alina. And you betrayed me, professionally and personally." Riya, standing by the doorway, gasped. Wait, you knew? I did, I said, turning to her. And I rebuilt everything she tried to destroy. I wanted to be sure before exposing the truth. Alina's eyes darted around the room, desperation creeping in. You can't do this. You already did, I interrupted. You underestimated me. You underestimated patience, accuracy, and integrity. And now everyone will see your choices. Mr. Kapoor cleared his throat. This is quite a revelation. I appreciate your diligence. Samir, you can verify these corrections? Samir nodded. Every number matches the client's files now. He's right. Alina's hands shook. It was a mistake. I didn't mean. A mistake. I repeated. You knowingly altered reports, manipulated colleagues, and tried to interfere with my personal life. That's more than a mistake. Her eyes flicked toward Riya. You didn't tell her everything, did you? I stepped closer, holding Riya's gaze. I told her what matters. I trusted her to see the truth herself. And she does. Riya's lips trembled. Alina. She paused, shocked, hurt and disbelief written across her face. Alina's voice cracked. I just wanted to be recognized. Everyone's always in your shadow. And you thought betrayal was the way? I asked softly, shaking my head. You don't get validation by hurting others. Her shoulders slumped. Silence hung heavy in the room. Mr. Kapoor finally spoke. Alina, this is serious. I will be taking action. Your position here is under review. Alina looked at me, pleading. You're ruining me. I can fix this. You can start by being honest, I said quietly. Everything else follows from there. Riya took a step closer. I can't believe it. I thought I misunderstood, but, all this? I wanted you to see clearly, I said. Not just for me, but for yourself. Trust is fragile, Riya. It's not something to take lightly. Dev, who had arrived quietly, whispered, You did the right thing. But, forgiveness might be harder than revenge. I looked at him, considering. Maybe, I admitted. But right now, I had to reclaim my life. Karma isn't enough. Sometimes, you need to guide it. Alina's eyes filled with tears. Please. I need a chance. You had chances, I said, voice steady. And you chose deceit. I gestured toward the door. Now leave my space. As she walked out, I felt the tension in the room lift. My old desk, my office, the place where I had rebuilt myself, it felt like mine again. Symbolically, physically, emotionally. Riya approached me cautiously. I'm so sorry I doubted you, she said, voice trembling. It's okay, I replied, taking her hand. You had reasons to be confused. But now, we see clearly. And we move forward. Samir clapped me lightly on the shoulder. Well done. You handled it perfectly. I nodded. Thanks. It wasn't easy. But I learned patience, focus, and the strength to act when the time is right. Mr. Kapoor added, Your professionalism saved this project. I'm impressed by your composure and diligence. Let this be a lesson to everyone here. I looked around the room, everyone watching, some in shock, some in quiet admiration. Alina's downfall was not malicious, it was necessary. Riya squeezed my hand. I'm proud of you. I smiled faintly, a mixture of relief and quiet triumph. I'm not done yet, I said softly. But this was the first victory. And it feels like mine. The room buzzed with whispers, but I blocked them out. I had reclaimed control, exposed deceit, and proven my worth. The betrayal, heartbreak, and doubt had led to this moment. And now, finally, I could breathe again. I watched from my office as Alina packed her things, face pale, hands trembling. "I can't believe this," she muttered, voice barely audible. "You made your choices," I said quietly, not looking up from my desk. "Now you face the consequences." She glared at me. You didn't have to expose me like that." "I didn't expose you to hurt you," I replied calmly. "I exposed the truth. That's the difference between us." Samir walked by, smirking. "Well, looks like karma finally caught up." Alina's shoulders slumped. I just wanted to succeed. I didn't think it would end like this." "You thought shortcuts would get you validation," I said, voice steady. "They didn't. They never do." Later, Riya approached my desk hesitantly. "I've been thinking," she said softly. "Seeing everything, realizing." "Realizing what?" I asked, calm but curious. "That I misjudged you," she admitted. "Anne. I doubted your strength, your integrity." "I'm sorry." I leaned back in my chair, studying her. "Riya, I've changed. But I need to know if you're here because you want to be, or because you feel guilty." She paused. "I want to be here. Because I see you. Not the broken person I thought you were." I nodded slowly. "Then let's start fresh. Carefully. We rebuild, like I rebuilt everything else." Her eyes softened, but I noticed the caution in her voice. "I understand. Anne. I'll be patient." At that moment, Dev appeared in the doorway, leaning casually. "So, looks like everything's settled at work." "Mostly," I said, smiling faintly. "Alina is out of the way. And Henderson is solid." He glanced at me, a subtle question in his eyes. "And you? How do you feel?" "Stronger," I admitted. "Wiser. I've learned patience, focus, and the importance of choosing when to act. I'm not fragile anymore." He nodded approvingly. "Good. And Riya?" I looked at her. "Hopeful. But cautious. And I respect that." Riya reached for my hand. "You handled everything, gracefully." "I admire that." "Grace isn't the word I'd use," I said, smiling. "Calculated, maybe. Strategic. But yes. I survived." Samir joined us briefly. "You've become someone people can't underestimate. Even me." I laughed lightly. "Don't get too flattered." "But thanks. Support helps." Later, I received an email from Mr. Kapoor, "Excellent recovery. Your professionalism restored confidence in the team. Keep this momentum." I leaned back, letting the weight of the past months wash over me. Betrayal, heartbreak, humiliation, it all led to this moment. Riya and I walked outside together during lunch. "Do you ever think about, before?" she asked softly. "All the time," I admitted. "The trust one lost, the mistakes I made, the betrayal." I paused, looking at her. "But I've also learned from it. And I don't want to carry bitterness anymore." She squeezed my hand gently. "I want to be part of that journey. If you'll let me." "I do," I said, though a part of me remained cautious. Love, trust, they require rebuilding, just like my career. Dev appeared beside us again. "And I assume you've finally forgiven yourself?" "Not completely," I admitted. "But I've accepted what I can't change. And I've decided what I will control from now on." Riya looked at me, curious. "What will you control?" "Me," I said firmly. "My choices. My reactions. My life. No one else gets that power anymore, not Alina, not anyone." Alina's humiliation wasn't something I gloated over. It was a lesson, for her and for me. Every conversation, every email, every subtle manipulation had led to her unraveling. But I didn't celebrate, it wasn't necessary. Justice, however slow, had done its work. That evening, I returned home, sitting quietly with Dev. "You've been a steady presence," I said. "Even when things were chaotic." "And you've grown," he said. "Not just professionally, but emotionally. You're resilient." I smiled faintly. Resilient, yes. But cautious. Some lessons, you never forget. Riya texted me later, "Dinner? I'd like to talk more." I paused, thinking. Carefully, I typed back, "Yes. We'll take it one step at a time." Sitting back, I reflected on the journey, from betrayal to heartbreak, from despair to calculated strength. The pain hadn't disappeared, but it had shaped me. I was stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever came next. The past was a guide, not a cage. And finally, I felt free. I sat at the edge of my balcony, staring at the city lights, letting the quiet sink in. The apartment felt emptier than usual, but in a comforting way. Dev appeared behind me, holding 2 mugs of coffee. "You've been quiet all evening," he said softly. "I'm thinking," I admitted, taking a sip. "About everything, what I lost, what I rebuilt, and what I still need to let go." He sat beside me. "It's been a long journey. You've changed." "I have," I said, voice low. "I'm stronger, calmer, more aware, and maybe wiser. But I still carry memories, painful ones. Alina, Riya, the betrayal, it lingers." Dev nodded. "It always will, in some way. But you can choose what to carry and what to leave behind." I glanced at him. "I want to leave most of it behind. The letters, the photos, the reminders of how I was hurt, they don't serve me anymore." He smiled faintly. "Symbolic closure, huh? I like that." "I started packing them today," I admitted. "Everything that ties me to anger or pain is going. Even my old office memorabilia. It's time to step forward, not backward." Dev's eyes softened. "That's a brave step. And it shows how much you've grown." I laughed quietly, shaking my head. "Brave, maybe. Or necessary." I realized revenge wasn't enough. I needed perspective. I needed peace. He leaned closer. "And peace doesn't mean forgetting. It means understanding. Learning from what hurt you." I nodded, feeling the truth of it. "Exactly. I forgive, not for them, but for me. I won't carry the burden of anger any longer." The balcony was silent except for the distant hum of traffic. I held a stack of letters in my hand, remnants of Alina's manipulations and my own doubts. I looked at Dev. "It's time." He nodded, understanding. "Let go." I took a deep breath and let the letters slip from my fingers, watching them flutter to the ground. "Gone," I whispered. "Good," he said softly. "Now, the photos?" I picked up the framed picture of Riya and me from the company picnic, the one I had carried through months of heartbreak. "This was beautiful once, but it reminds me of pain now," I said. I set it down gently on the table and closed my eyes, imagining the memories fading. Dev placed a hand on my shoulder. "It's okay to feel both gratitude and relief. You don't lose the happy memories by letting go of the pain." I opened my eyes, feeling lighter. I understand that now. I don't need to be haunted by what was lost. I need to embrace what's ahead. We walked inside together, leaving the balcony behind. I felt a quiet determination settling in, a sense that life could be more than revenge, more than heartbreak. Dev broke the silence. "So, what's next?" I smiled, genuinely. "I rebuild for me, for my future, for the person I want to be. I'll remain cautious with love, but I won't close myself off. And I'll face new challenges with the lessons I've learned. He nodded approvingly. Sounds like a plan. And you're not alone this time. I glanced at him, grateful. No, I'm not. And I'm ready. Really ready. That night, I finally placed the last item, a small notebook filled with reminders of mistakes and regrets, into the drawer marked past. I closed it gently, letting the finality settle in. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of old grudges lift. For the first time in months, I felt free. The storms of betrayal, heartbreak, and doubt had passed, leaving me stronger, calmer, and ready for a new chapter. I looked at Dev, then around my apartment. This is it, I said quietly. Moving on, for real. He smiled warmly. I'm glad to see you like this. You've earned it. I nodded, eyes shining with quiet hope. I have. And now, I start living, without fear, without doubt, and without looking back. I stood by the window, watching the sunrise spill golden light across the city. The office was empty, quiet, and for the first time in months, I felt a calm certainty. Dev appeared behind me, carrying 2 cups of coffee. Morning already? He asked softly. Morning, I said, smiling faintly. And it feels like a new one. He handed me a cup. You've come a long way. I can see it in you, stronger, calmer, lighter. I took a sip. I am lighter. All the anger, the betrayal, the heartbreak, it's still there, in memory, but it doesn't control me anymore. He leaned against the counter. And Riya? I glanced at her, sitting across the room with a thoughtful expression. She's accepted the consequences of her choices. She's learning, like I did, that trust can't be rushed, and forgiveness takes time. Riya looked up and smiled faintly. I won't pretend I understand everything yet. But I see you. I see who you've become. I nodded, letting the warmth of that acknowledgement sink in. I needed to reclaim my life first, to regain control, before I could even consider us again. And I did. Dev's eyes were steady. And Alina? She's left to face her mistakes, I said quietly. I've done what I could to expose the truth, but she'll have to deal with the rest herself. Riya's brow furrowed slightly. Do you ever think about what could have been? I shook my head, smiling softly. I don't. The past shaped me, yes, but I won't let it dictate my present. I learned, I grew, I survived. That's what matters. Dev chuckled lightly. Look at you. The man who nearly broke under betrayal, now the one who stands unshaken. I stand because I chose to, I replied. I could have let anger consume me, revenge blind me. But I didn't. I acted with patience, with clarity, with strength. That's the difference. Riya leaned closer. I admire that. I've never seen you like this, calm, certain. And I'm proud of you. Thank you, I said, voice steady. I appreciate that. But pride isn't what I seek anymore. Peace is. I picked up a small personal memento from my desk, a paperweight from the old office, scratched and worn. This reminds me of where I started, the chaos I endured. But now, it's a symbol of endurance, not pain. Dev nodded. A symbol of rebirth. Exactly, I said. I keep the lessons, not the hurt. I let go of what doesn't serve me. Riya's voice was soft. And the people who hurt you? I looked at her, thoughtful. They exist in my memories. I acknowledge them, but I don't let them live in my present. Their actions shaped me, but they don't define me anymore. Dev smiled. You've reclaimed more than a career or an office. You've reclaimed yourself. I set the paperweight down, feeling a symbolic closure. Yes. And that's the real victory. Riya approached and placed a hand on mine. I hope, one day, I can be a part of that new life with you. I held her gaze. We'll take that step when we're ready. But for now, I've found my peace. And that's enough to move forward. Dev glanced at the window. The sunrise seems perfect today. I followed his gaze, the first rays of light spilling warmth into the room. It is perfect. A new dawn, a new chapter. I've closed the door on betrayal, on doubt, on fear. And I step forward freely. Riya smiled, quietly, as if understanding the weight of the moment. I exhaled slowly, letting the light fill me. The empty office, the soft hum of the city, the warmth of coffee, the gentle presence of Dev and Riya, it all felt like a fresh start. I've survived everything, I said quietly, mostly to myself. And now, I can live. Truly live. Dev nodded, smiling. And you deserve that. I turned to the window again, the sun fully rising now, spreading light over the streets and buildings below. It felt like a promise, a life reclaimed, lessons learned, and hope renewed. Here's to new beginnings, I whispered, raising my coffee cup slightly. Riya and Dev joined me in their quiet, knowing ways, and for the first time, I felt entirely at peace. The past was behind me. The future awaited. And I was ready.